She's as classy as she can be. The co-host Greg has a lot to say. Well, he wouldn't have it any other way. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club Show. I say rise and shine, get up and go. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club Show. Grab a cup of coffee or espresso with the Long Island Breakfast Club Show. Another cup of Java or espresso. Another cup of coffee or hot cocoa. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club Show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club Show. It's the Long Island Breakfast Club Show.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Whoa, welcome, Courtney Dunn. I can't believe you're playing the guitar now, too. Last time you were here, you were just singing opera.
Yeah.
And now you're playing these wonderful songs with the guitar.
Yeah.
How long? What happened?
I've only been playing guitar for about 4 months now.
Wow.
I took a couple lessons with a teacher, but pretty much everything else, it was about 3 lessons, and everything else I taught myself.
Terrific.
Yeah, and I love how versatile the guitar is. There's so many music genres that you can play with it, and I wanted to be able to bring an instrument into a classroom because I'm a teacher.
Yes,
so
now
that I
you're
can
a
play it with
teacher.
my students.
You was a music teacher, and you were selected in the quartet soloist for the Crane Chorus. What is the Crane Chorus?
So I went to SUNY Potsdam Crane School of Music, and one of our things is that all of the music majors for voice and some of the instrumental players, they get to join in this big chorus. And in the springtime, we do a major work, like a big song, many movements, and that's the concert. And one of our things was the Beethoven's Mass in C major, and there are solo parts, and I was chosen to be the alto soloist.
Whoa, then you've really grown a lot since the last time you were here.
Yes.
And now you are a music teacher in New Hyde Park for the summer programs?
I was doing the summer programs, and I was also a substitute there as well for a couple months while their music teacher was out.
Nice. So now are you looking for employment, or?
Yes.
And what are you looking to be? Music teacher?
Music teacher. General music and chorus for elementary school.
Very nice. And what about, in the meantime, you do teaching? You teach students, adults? Who do you teach guitar?
So I teach piano and voice lessons to students in elementary school age, between the ages of 4, and I think my oldest is about 10 now.
That's terrific.
Some beginners, some very advanced.
Do they come to you, or do you
I go to them. I go through Long Island Studio of Music.
That's nice. So you get to see all these beautiful homes with the pianos.
Yeah.
And teach them so many things.
And it's great because you get to see a lot of students that are just beginning, but they love music. And so you get to walk alongside them on their journey through music. And
so when people want to take a lesson, how do they reach you? What do they do?
You can contact Long Island Studio of Music and request me. As Courtney Dunn. And, you give their information, we talk about it, and then we schedule a lesson. So
what about private things? Like if someone wants you to play, like this was a great song to play at an event, or to play at a country western event, or anything, or a fundraiser.
Yeah, you can contact me through my Facebook,
Okay.
Or through email.
Courtney Lee, right?
Courtney Leah, yes.
And people can always reach you through me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always get gigs for everybody at the Breakfast Club show. And we would like to start, getting you some gigs.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be nice. And you're going to come back and play again.
I would love to.
Yeah, so maybe you could take a little break and we can bring up our other guests right now. And then we'll start the show again. Because I wanted to start with a great song. And you did a beautiful job.
Thank you so much.
And your mother and your aunt and your cousin are in the audience, which is nice when people come to support you.
Yes, I love them very much. Thank you.
I can't believe how much you grew. I knew you when you were a lot younger.
Yeah, I was a baby.
Yeah. Look at you now, you're a woman.
Oh, thank you.
So this is the Long Island Breakfast Club show. It is Thursday. Believe it or not, it's our 328th show and our 18th episode. And we're very happy that we have a great team in today. I'm going to start with David Lange.
Yes, ma'am.
I finally learned how to say his name. David is from the United States Air Force. This is a Memorial Day show, so who better to have but this great man. He does volunteering all over Long Island, and he's going to talk about it. And then we have my other friend here, Leon Majet, and he's from Coldwell Bankers. He's a real estate agent. He's a holy Christian man, or whatever your nationality is. Deacon, and he does a lot of things in the community. Handsome, very well dressed. Love that. And he's been on the show a few times too. And I think last year you were on the Memorial Day show because I remember
it was either Veterans Day
Veterans
or
Day.
Memorial Day. I knew it was military.
Yes, and we also have this wonderful lady, and her name is Kerrie Hansen from the Glendale Kiwanis. And we're missing our main guest today, who is Kat Gia, and she was going to be on to talk about kidney transplants because she needs one. And welcome to you.
Thank you.
And we're very happy she got a call from the hospital, but still isn't working out yet, right?
No, not working out, but we're praying for her, and we hope that the journey gets a little easier for her because
And yes,
she deserves it. She's
well,
a good
this
person.
show originally was for this lovely lady.
Yes.
And so she had to, that we're giving her a special award, but we're going to do it another day.
Okay.
But I wanted to show that we had a very special day planned for her and a little gift for her and everything, but I'm not going to give it to you. I want her to come back when she's feeling better. But she's been on the show 3 times as well. She herself is a community woman like you can't believe. So, but thank you for coming. And the way we start the show normally is what's today. Today is National Taffy Day. So if you like taffy, go ahead and buy some, share some, eat some. And that's what today is. And then we go into talking about all our friends. But first, we have a drink. And David Land is going to pouring the wine. We love to drink wine on the show. So we're all going to have a drink, and we'll serve your mom and your cousin and your sister, everybody today. And we have look at these cupcakes that Susan, our decorator, made with little cupcake holders, and they have the flags on them. Isn't that cute? So everybody can have a snack. So how we doing there, David?
Well,
That's for you. That's for you. And we have wine for you guys too. We'll give it to you later, okay? All right, so David, let's talk about you. And first of all, how we met and what you're all about, which is everything.
oh yeah, I hardly know where to start. Do you want a quick background of what I've done?
Yeah, quick. Salute.
Salute.
Thank you for coming.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, okay, while you're all enjoying your beverage there. So I'm David Lange. I'm a retired colonel in the United States Air Force. I was born and raised on Long Island. Back in 1984, I went to the United States Air Force Academy for college, spent 4 years there. After graduating, I became a navigator in the United States Air Force. So I'm a combat veteran of Operation Desert Storm and Operation Allied Force. I've lived in 10 different states, 2 foreign countries during my time in service. Obviously been stationed all across the globe. Met a lot of great people, got to work with a lot of great people, and certainly an honor and a privilege to serve. Of course, what we're talking about today is Memorial Day, so it's not about me or veterans right now. We have Veterans Day which honors all veterans, all those who have served. And then, of course, Armed Forces Day honors those who are currently serving in our armed forces. But Memorial Day, we always look at sort of the most special, most, if you will, sacred of all those sorts of holidays. So we don't talk about having a happy Memorial Day. We talk about commemorating Memorial Day versus celebrating it, because what we do is we're commemorating all those who died in service to this nation
which is so
across
sad.
the years in the many wars that we've fought. So that's touched obviously many families across the years. So there's still there are a lot of widows out there, and there's people who didn't have never met a grandfather or what have you, or never met a parent because they made the ultimate sacrifice trying to defend our freedoms. So I always tell people, you have a 3-day weekend. It's fine to have the barbecues and the grills and enjoy that time off. But I'd always ask that people take some time out just to remember and to think about the real reason why we're having this holiday. And again, that's to honor those who have made our way of life possible. So that's kind of what Memorial Day is all about.
And didn't you ride the planes? And weren't you a pilot?
Well, I was a navigator, yes. I flew for about 14 of my 30 years. Started out in KC-135, which was an airfielding aircraft. While I was in that airframe, I flew during Operation Desert Storm back in 1991, so I was in combat there. And then in 1998 or 99, I guess time frame it would have been, is Operation Allied Force. That was the air war over Yugoslavia, Serbia, against Serbia back then. So that was the 2 times I actually flew. But then my later years, I was planning and directing global bomber missions. So I've directed stealth bombers across the globe to strike targets, command and control those. So I've touched refueling. I've done global command and control. Like during 9/11, I was flying the E-4B, which is a military variant of a Boeing 747. That's a long story. I won't go into that. But basically, so we got launched, in the after the 9/11 attacks. I basically disappeared for about a month. Couldn't contact my family, couldn't contact friends, and so obviously being a New Yorker, it was tough because I had no way of knowing if my friends were dead or alive because I couldn't call anyone. I couldn't find out. So we were basically doing the shell game thing because the National Airborne Operations Center is designed to literally run the country in the event of a national emergency. And since we weren't sure if there were going to be additional attacks potentially on this nation's leadership, we were doing what we do, which is be survivable, which is moving all around and staying so we couldn't be targeted. So
okay, so how many years your career?
Yeah, I was career Air Force. I retired in 2018. So I did 4 years as a cadet, 30 years as a commissioned officer. So I retired as a colonel, active duty Air Force, in 2018.
And that's when we met, right?
Yeah, that's when we met. Came back home. It was about exactly that time in 2018.
You had come to one of our networking events, and
I did. Yeah.
The rest is history. I pronounced his name wrong for 3 years, and everyone else did too, because that's what I told them his name was. And now we finally know it's David Lange.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, thanks, Valentina.
So what about you do all these great talks at the Cradle of Aviation and high schools?
Yeah, I do a lot of volunteer work. So the Cradle of Aviation, I'm a docent there. If you've never been to that museum, I highly recommend it. It's, I think, one of the best aviation museums, definitely in the country,
outrageous.
maybe in the world. It is just really fantastic. Not quite as impressive as the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., but I'll tell you what, they have a fantastic display there. So I love talking to guests and showing them around I give full museum tours and do a lot of activities with the museum. I'm also a United States Air Force Academy admission liaison officer. So young men and women on Long Island who are interested in going to a service academy, I mentor them in terms of how to apply and to their Air Force Academy, and also about an Air Force way of life so that they can make an informed decision. And then I also evaluate people, not from Long Island, but from all over the country, who want to go to the Air Force Academy. I evaluate them on their suitability for service, and then I provide recommendations to the admissions office there.
So we're going to have a little snack here today.
Yeah, snack time.
I know you're dying for the red, white, and blue cupcakes. So this is for you. Now, what about, here's some napkins if you need here. What about all the people you met when you joined the Breakfast Club? Let's talk about that. How many people do you know now?
Oh, well, yeah, I've met quite a few people through the club in various social groups for sure. So it's nice. Cause
We're very social.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you are, really. I mean, but it's nice for networking, and I've certainly made some friends and people who I really like and I think are great people. Yourself is one of them.
Oh,
For those who don't know, Valentina is just a wonderful person. She's always looking out for people, trying to connect people to opportunities. She's a connector, right? She's got the chutzpah, as we used to say.
But we do have nice events.
We do. Yep.
We have a
nice
lot
events.
of different fun, different, unique.
Yep.
Right? And let's talk about your book.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
and,
book author as well.
Yeah, I've done my share of writing. So, back in, I guess it was 2020 now, I published a memoir, which is called Quest, My Journey Through La Mancha. And really, it's sort of about the how just kindness can influence, people's lives and change people's lives for the better. So even though I talks, a fair amount about my time in the Air Force, because, obviously that was my life for a lot of it, but it's really about one person who was just kind to me during a very difficult, challenging period of my life. And that individual really just, I still say, saved my life, because I mean,
Right.
I really couldn't care less if I woke up the next morning or not.
What was the name of the book?
It's called Quest, My Journey Through La Mancha.
Quest, My Journey Through La Mancha.
Yeah, and it is on Barnes & Noble if you're
yes,
interested.
and it is a great book. If you have trouble finding it, just email me, or you could. How do people reach you, David? On Facebook?
Yeah, through Facebook. But I also have a website. It's called davidlangequest.com, and that talks about not only that book, but a lot of the short stories I've written. Because
Right. You're also involved with my publisher.
during COVID,
Yes.
during COVID, I didn't have a whole lot to do. So, Red Penguin Publishers, who published Valentina's book.
Yeah, I have my
initially
books.
there. They every 2 weeks they were putting out a different anthology with different themes. So that sort of became a
Your thing.
thing for me. So every 2 weeks I was coming out. Some were horror stories, some were science fiction,
He's
some
a great
were
writer.
romance stories. You name it. It was like a challenge.
You're
I said-
everywhere. You're part of it, Red Penguin.
So I wrote literally. So I'm publishing over 35 books.
Oh,
we figured,
that's
and have
amazing.
short stories and poems, because I wrote a lot of poems too.
And just
as part
think,
of
you
those.
met
And,
Stephanie through the Breakfast Club.
I knew before,
I
but
know. Well, we connected.
but she's sort of part of the gang there.
Stephanie Larkin, we call the head penguin. And everyone in I wrote a book all about what happened to me when I was 50. And I introduced a lot of people to me, and there are 70 women in my book.
Wow.
Those 70 now wrote their own book. So we do the very unique things at the Breakfast Club. It's not just one thing. It's whatever. Call me. If we can do it, we do it. If we can't, we can't. And that book changed my life, because you don't write a book to make money. You write a book to change your life. And from the book, you get speaking gigs. And he does speaking now. Sometimes you get paid, sometimes you don't. But the speaking led me into acting. And I'm now an actress, which I can't believe it, in a new Fontana. It's called The Fontanas. And it's coming out soon. And it's a mafia family. I'm playing the mother. And I've had a ball. We did the first series, and now we're working on the second series. And they're true stories about a family in Lindenhurst. So I tell people all the time, I'm a coach, try something different, because you never know what's going to happen. And I did all this because I got fired. So when there was a lot of firing going on. When I was 50, forget it. If you were 50, you were out. And you can't go back to what you used to do, right?
No, move on.
So anyway, thank you for the talk.
Sure.
Feel free to munch on your cupcakes. Now let's talk to Leon, my wonderful man who always shows up. And you're a veteran too, correct?
Yes.
So thank you for your service. I love this saying. It says, we don't know them all, but we owe them all. That's how I feel. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very
that's,
true.
and veterans serve their country, putting themselves in harm's way to defend freedoms that we all get to enjoy. So it's a great day to just celebrate all that on Memorial Day. And this is Memorial Day on the show.
Yeah.
And then we have all weekend to party. So let's talk about you. How long, when did you...
Well, first I'm going to shake David's hand. That's
Yes.
a remarkable career, sir, and I thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mine's is nowhere near as exciting or extensive in any way, shape, or form. I only did 2 years in the Army,
That's more than most.
and that was back in 80. That was 80 to 82. I was in the Army in Fort Knox, Kentucky. And I joined the Army because I was just at that age getting myself in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
As
you
a
were
matter
a
of fact,
troublemaker.
I was 17. Well, I found trouble, put it that way. I was 17 years old. My parents had to sign me in. And I went in to take cryptography. Didn't really find any real use in it. I spent, I think it was 6 months in Fort Knox, and then a year at Fort Gordon. Back to New York for another 6 months at Hamilton, and that was it. That was my reign in the Army. But after that, I decided to get into engineering. And that's a crazy story, the way it came about. I was a kid still, so I'm at the park playing basketball, whatever I can, do to kill time. And a friend of mine, he was an engineer, and he had his boss, he was what they call an ATL, assistant team leader. And his boss said something kind of very racy about, people don't do, certain groups of people don't want to work or do anything.
Right, I got you.
So he said, that's not true. He says, and the gentleman was Iranian. And he said, that's not true. He says, my friend Leon is a very hard worker. So he came to the park to pick me up. And they're working in the van. And they said, Leon, can you come and help us out today? I had nothing to do. So I go with them. I'm carrying ladders and, whatever. It's no big deal. So the guy was impressed with me for some reason, comes back the next day to pick me up. We're out there working again. I'm just doing labor and stuff. And next thing you know, the company, one of the heads of the company found out that they got someone working with them that they didn't say anything about. And they said, we're going to get in trouble for that. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can get insurance.
Yeah, you
and
can't
all
just
that.
pick people up off the street and have them do things. So they decided to hire me.
So that's a
And
great
that
story.
was how I got into bridge inspection is what I was doing. I was,
Wow.
and they put me in school through a state-run program. I wound up getting an engineering degree, civil degree, structural engineering, and I worked
That
25
was your
years
career,
for New York State DOT. doing bridge
That's a
inspection.
great story.
And then after that, I decided to go into real estate.
And that's what you're doing now.
And
And
that's
the
what
name of
I-
your real estate is Coldwell Bankers.
Right.
Where is it? What
Coldwell
town?
Bank is in Franklin Square.
So your neighbor. We're neighbors, all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
I've been with them for the past 6 years now.
Yeah, and you like it, right? Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy it. Yes, yes. And not only that, I've been doing some day trading lately.
Day trading.
Yeah, I
Wow.
started getting into the stock market.
So we'll have to call you when we want to buy stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, right now, get some NVIDIA. You can't go wrong.
What about the Trump stock? I heard that stock is doing okay.
Which one?
My friend knows the name of it. What is
Tesla?
it?
Truth Social
True. Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked into that one at all.
and GameStop.
GameStop
Oh,
is doing
no.
it.
Last week through the roof.
No, it's
My
no
mother
good,
made
huh?
over $1 million and got out.
Really? But back years ago, not
No.
last week.
No, last year.
Oh, a year ago.
Okay. I wasn't even looking at it at all a year ago. Last week, it did not, GameStop did not
Do well.
pan through
One
for
day.
me. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
Well,
if
I
I
don't do
day
stock.
traded that, I would have done probably okay. But
Yes.
I lost quite a few thousand
Wow.
last week on GameStop and
Oh.
AMC, both of them.
that's,
So we
Yeah.
do. We don't do stock. We play horses by names, numbers and names, not by what they run, not by how fast they do, not by the long shot. We just pick the name, but not a
Right.
lot. But we go to OTB in Franklin Square and forget about it.
Oh my goodness.
They're crazy there, the people, but they know the Breakfast Club.
Right.
So when we come in, they make a big deal. Well, what'd you find out today? Well, we don't nothing. We just play with the numbers, and we say 24 or
Yeah.
6 race 17.
Wow.
But he's very nice, the guy that runs it, and he puts a big show on when we come in.
To finish my story real quick, because I want to put you in there, how we met.
Yes,
We have a
okay.
mutual friend named Maria.
Yes.
And I was doing
Driving,
Uber
right.
and driving on the side, and Marie said a friend of mine wants to know if you can help her out, pick her up to take her somewhere, something of that nature. And I came to, it was Lord and Taylor's in Garden City.
I must have been shopping away that day.
You had an event going on. It was
Oh,
some big
yes, it
event.
was a big event. We did. We had a fashion show.
No. Okay,
And my
yeah,
book.
yeah.
And we had my book at Lord and Taylor. I was so
Right.
excited.
I was about to say because you had told me about it.
It was a fashion show. Lord and Taylor in Garden City.
It was on olive oil.
Oh, yeah, well, we do olive oil.
tasting or something.
Yeah, we do that too.
It was very nice. But anyway, it was the first time I met
That's right. I
Valentina.
forgot that.
And I think I took you somewhere out in Queens.
Yeah.
And that was it. After that,
And then we just became friends.
yeah.
I have that habit with people.
Yeah.
David took me to breakfast, and then that was it.
Right. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
that's how it is when at the Breakfast Club. We just do good things to help each other. We don't have rules. I'm a no rules girl. We don't let bitches in. Bitches leave. We don't let them stay. Because there's a lot that goes on in these groups sometimes that gets political. We don't have politics. We're here to help each other. So stay or go. But that's the story. And we've grown to so many different things. So, but how would people, what are you selling these days? What are you talking about? Like more inventory? You need more inventory, right?
Inventory is slow right now. The market is very slow because the Fed had promised 3 rate cuts this year, and then about a month ago turned around, changed their mind, and decided that the economy is good enough that they're not going to cut rates, which really hurts the market. You get a good rate cut, and people start looking to not even if you just have a home to to buy an extra one, but first-time home buyers really get a good deal on that.
Yeah, they're the best.
Right now, the economy is really not strong enough. The Fed believes it is, but
It's a lot.
once unemployment goes up, maybe, and I think we're at we got to hit 4%. We're at 3.2. We get over 4%, and they'll cut the rates.
Yeah.
They will
Well,
cut
they're
the
going to
rates.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do rentals too, or just homes?
Oh yeah.
So
the
that's good
rentals
to
is-
know. Everybody's always looking for a place.
Yeah.
And how do they reach you? By what's your sign on Facebook? Your-
You can catch me on Facebook, Leon Majet. You can catch me through my church, which is Come As You Are Ministries.
That's in Almont, right?
That's in Almont. Yeah. You just go to comeasyouareministries.org, and you go to the contacts. And,
Right.
And
That's
me
great.
and Pastor are both in there.
Well, you're looking great. It's always nice to have you. We thank you for your service.
Oh,
And I think we're going to now talk to this lady who came all the way from
Queens,
Queens, Glendale, and you hit a lot of traffic, so we're happy to see you. And you look flashing. Love the jacket. Are those your initials?
No, Ralph Lauren's. but
Oh,
I don't mind wearing them.
that's a nice jacket. Black is so nice all the time.
Yes.
Black is a great suit jacket. So I understand you're very close to Kathleen, who we were going to make a big day today for her, but we'll do it again. And you're also welcome to come back when she comes back. I know she's had a rough time, and I know she works with you.
Yeah, so Kat joined Glendale Kiwanis 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. Now it's 5.5. And I happened to be president at the time, and it was a blessing. She's truly an amazing individual, and it was appropriate for you to choose her for this program.
Absolutely.
She also just recently received, in our club, we have this program called Everyday Hero, and we do it this month right before Memorial Day.
Oh.
And she was one of the recipients. So when
That's interesting.
when I heard, we give it out to several people who we think are extraordinary individuals, and she is truly
I know.
extraordinary. She is a gem. She has some health issues dealing with her kidneys, but she also started an organization called the Kidney Coalition, which she helps and serves people navigate the system that have kidney problems themselves.
She's like an educator, really.
Yes, she helps them navigate the system. She fundraises not only for the club. She's so selfless, and she is always smiling.
Yes.
And a treat to always have at the table. So I hope you can get her back soon.
We will. Well, it's really entirely up to her.
Yes.
Because
and-
we love throwing a party anyway, so.
Yes. And this flyer that I know you
Yes,
had
let's talk about all the things that you guys have coming up. And I think we have them on the screen. So Kat is in charge of a lot of different things. And quite frankly, she offers help to me, which I think is amazing. She lives all the way in Glendale. And she says, what do you need? I'll do it for you. And she does it from home. And it's great. It's great to have her,
Yes.
So what do we have coming up? I think we have a slide, right, Bobby? You can maybe show it, of the events coming up. Okay.
He's working it. Oh, well, the Dirty Bingo. She has a lot
Let's
of...
talk about Dirty Bingo. What is Dirty Bingo? Does anybody know?
Actually,
David?
I do not.
when she says unique items, see, I've never been to the Dirty Bingo, but you know what? I'm sure will not disappoint. She always has a lot of baskets and tickets and 50-50 going on, and there's always a lot of laughter in the room. And I would say it says seductive adult prizes, so that's not my forte.
Now,
But
do men come to the Dirty Bingo?
I have seen men at her fundraisers all
Yes,
the time. She
okay.
has a following. And so, in addition to these, I know she has run things like, like, card games.
Right, she
and-
does a lot.
and
Yeah.
she was at karaoke not too long ago. So she does wonderful activities. She helped and assisted with coordinating our baby shower, which is a baby shower for mothers that are expecting from the neighborhood hospital that
Oh, nice.
probably won't have a baby shower themselves.
Right. Mhm.
So she was very instrumental in calling people up and getting gifts donated to that. This one item is a trunk or treat, which is in our Atlas Park is our mall in Glendale, and she and a couple of the members are going to do a trunk or treat, and the club also has the oldest Halloween Day parade, which she normally marches in as well,
Aw.
and that's actually on Halloween. We're the oldest marching parade in New York. We beat
You're
Manhattan.
kidding.
We beat Manhattan by I think 1 year, but we're willing to claim it anyway.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, well, I know that bingo is in September, after the summer, September 21st.
Yeah, so everybody come back from vacation and join us.
Yeah, I hear it's quite the show and quite the ladies that are crack you up there.
Yes, and she even did a supermarket sweeps not too long ago, which she did very well with.
Really?
So she keeps the neighborhoods hopping and keeps them out of their house. So we appreciate that.
And let's talk about you. What led you to Kiwanis? Because I know you have a story about when you were working full time, right?
Yes, I right out of school. Actually, McGraw-Hill. I started working at McGraw-Hill back in the day.
Which is a great company.
They were fantastic. They helped put me through school. I did it all at night. Not necessarily would I recommend that to anybody today, but all the way through my master's. It was a tough thing to do back in the day. Got married, bought a house, and 10 years later, my son was born, and we jumped right into Scouts after that and did Little League, and we kept very busy. So I, after some time, needed to change my career up a little bit, and it seemed only appropriate that on the other side of the fence in the publishing area where you're giving information out, that I seemed to segue into the market data role in a couple of the financial firms.
That's a tough job too.
And I loved it though, because I could speak tech talk, but I could also talk people talk. And it was a great career for me. Over time though, I don't know, I felt I needed more. My son aged out of Scouts and he was going to college, and I joined Kiwanis. And just like everything else, you're not quite sure what you're stepping into, but it was probably one of the nicest
Best things
most-
you could have done, right?
Yes, it opened up my arena to different friends, different activities, and
Changes your life.
it did. It gives you a different perspective, and my parents are involved in it, so I got to spend some time with them, which I probably normally would not have.
And you have two Kiwanis people sitting in the audience today.
Hello.
They have a lot of experience in it too. So it's something how,
Yeah.
things change and grow.
And I shared with you a couple of years when the pandemic happened. I was offered a buyout, and normally I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would have just jumped into another role, and I took it, and I decided not to go back. And at the time, I had been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had them replaced. And I remember Kat. She was one of my biggest cheerleaders. She was always stay positive, smiling, and she was going through a lot.
Yes.
And she even had a relative that came to talk to our club right before then that had just gone through this similar situation. And so you meet people at different times of your life, and I think it's God's way of helping you
And look
along
at how
the journey.
it changed your life and
It
how
did.
happy you are now.
I love it. And not only do I do stuff for my own club, I do stuff, KPTC, which is the Kiwanis Pediatric Trauma Center Foundation.
Yes, we're aware of that too.
So,
yes.
yes, and
You do the camp thing too, Kiwanis camp?
yes, I actually said to someone at an event the other day, and I said, you know what I think I want to do in my next life? I think I want to write some grants.
That's tough though.
I've never done it before.
Well, but you have the numbers experience, so you'll be fine.
So I figured.
I hate writing grants.
Just,
Too hard.
I haven't done it before, so I figured. And he said, you know what? Why don't you come and try it out with us?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You might,
Yeah.
you might get lucky, right?
Well, you may. And if I don't like it, no harm, no foul. So
Very nice.
Kiwanis is something I treasure. I see a lot of my friends and family on Thursdays. We meet every single Thursday at Zomstantisch,
Oh,
which is like
the
our
big
landmark.
restaurant.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a landmark. You can't go wrong, and it's been a pleasure all the way.
It's great. My in-laws were from Glendale, so I used to
Oh.
go there. The Juros, the
Oh, I miss that.
yeah, Zomstadges, we went there. A few other places, a bar, nice bar, and a little diner in Glendale. Is
the
it still
Glendale
there?
Diner is now. Well, it's not called the Bob's Diner, which is probably what you
Yeah.
remember. Everybody calls it Bob's Diner. It is called Glendale Diner
Oh,
now.
okay. Well, thank you. How do people reach you if they want to get involved in the Kiwanis, and what do
well,
they do?
Glendale Kiwanis has a website, which you can reach us through that. It's Kiwanis Glendale, New York. Also, we're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, and actually, as you mentioned before, I'm also known as Kerrie Maher Hansen,
Yes,
and also
KMH.
Maher. And I will tell you, it will make my dad proud because he'll hear me saying my maiden name every once in a while. But also on LinkedIn, there was another Kerrie Hansen when I got married, and I was always afraid that her resume and my resume would get mixed up. So I distinguished myself
That's
by
good.
putting my middle name in there.
That's
as
important,
Maher.
especially when you have a resume and you're looking for a job.
So
Well, it's nice to have you. We're going to actually bring our beautiful girl back up, and we're going to talk a little bit with her. And we would like to have you stay, and, then we'll take some pictures afterwards, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And please, you have to hug
I will.
Kat with us. We're all going to give her a message here today.
Absolutely. Big
Yes.
hugs for Kat, and everybody
Yes.
please say a prayer.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Courtney, you're back. I wanted to ask you, because you graduated college. In the college, does your student, your friends, do they know about networking? Do they do it? Tell the
so.
truth.
I believe so.
Yeah, you do? Because
Yeah.
I find that a lot of the college students don't know what it is.
Well, through the alumni, through the Potsdam alumni, that's a lot of, they host a lot of networking events, things like that. So, and just the people that Crane is a
Absolutely.
community.
Right. Well,
and
that's a big
we really
thing.
rally behind that. So when you see someone from Crane, that's already a connection that you have for
Which
networking.
helps, right.
Yeah.
So I say a network will stand by you. They'll watch you fail. But a community will pitch in and help you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're side by side. But when you hang out with a volunteer, a community, you always meet great people. Because they're not there because they're getting paid. They're there because they want to do something different. So they're happy. Now, when you go to work, you might be having a neighbor or a coworker that's the real BI, and she's not happy.
Right.
So it forces you to say, try to make them smile, but they won't. So if you need that happiness in your life, volunteer one day a month. Just once. You're going to wind up liking it and meeting great people. Maybe even meet your future husband. Who knows? Now, you volunteered a lot. So what's the story? How's your love life?
Still single.
Still single. Okay. Well, this guy's a good catch. So anyway, but that's how I feel about, volunteering. It's very strong in my life because when I lost my job, I went on 57 interviews. So I said, I'm going to start volunteering. And that's how my life grew. And I do gigs now. We call them gigs. When you're over 50, they're gigs.
I do gigs too. Next week, I've actually got one out in Port Jefferson
Oh.
through my friend from college.
Very nice.
He's a composer.
So, we always try to help people with some type of gig because it's important. But, what's the best time you had since graduation,
Oh man.
Because, speaking to someone of your age, what we had was different. You guys have so much more.
Honestly, I really love substituting at New
You
Hyde
do?
Park. I loved
Really?
it. Working between, I was doing kindergarten through 6th grade, and I also had special needs students as well.
That's tough. That's a
Yeah,
hard
it was
sell.
tough, but I love them so much because every student has their individual needs, their individual love for music, and through every single grade, you just see what music does for them outside of the classroom, and how can you foster that inside of the classroom. And
Very
that's what I
nice.
absolutely love doing with them.
Yeah.
And even my private students too as well, I do that too.
So, what are you going to sing for us?
My final song is going to be God Bless America.
Oh, I love that. What a
And I want to say
perfect
thank
song.
you for your service, and thank you for your service, and thank you to all the veterans for their service.
She's
as
such a
well.
lady, this girl. Really.
Thank you.
You are. You're something special.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Nice.
Beautiful.
You have some voice. Now, you have the kind of voice that will make people cry.
Oh, thank you.
No, because, like, if you sang Ave Maria, forget it. I'd be, crying my eyes out.
Yeah,
because
I do
my-
funerals too. So.
Oh, do you? Good to know.
I do
She's like
funerals,
all
weddings.
around.
I do everything.
Well, my sister's in heaven. Her name is Maria. And whenever we go
Aw.
anywhere and they sing it, even at a wedding, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. What about, like, pop songs? Like, do you do that?
I do pop. I
Like
also
what?
do folk. Just anything. I do
Really?
anything. Probably not rock, like screamo rock.
No.
But
And folk
But
is the country, right?
I do folk. I've done West African drum and dance. I've done
You have one of
Adirondack
those
folk music.
special drums that...
No, but at school I did, and I did
Okay.
it with my students.
Steel
I
drums,
can
yeah.
modify it. But I've actually done Adirondack folk music, so I play ukulele because I had to teach it. I play hammered dulcimer.
Nice.
What the heck is that?
Beautiful.
It's a trap.
That's a
So
beautiful instrument. Yeah.
Really?
you know what it is. It's
I've never heard of it.
It's a folk instrument. It predates the piano. It inspired the piano. So it's a trapezoid shape instrument with a ton of strings on it that cross over, and you hit the strings using a little wooden hammer. And sometimes you can hit it with the bare wood, or you can hit it with the leather side, which makes it nice and soft.
Boy,
So-
you definitely got a lot of experience. So where do you keep
you.
all these instruments? In your garage?
In my room. you
You
can
must
barely
have a
walk in
large
there.
room.
There's a lot, yeah.
Were you
Oh, that's
taught
terrific.
how to sing? You're very angelic. You're
Thank you.
She is.
Yeah, my
Could-
mom actually inspired me to take lessons. She would notice that I had a voice, and she
Right.
wanted to foster that. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then mom was right.
Well, you never
And then
want
I
to
did
do
it
what
for
your
the
mom
next 10
tells you to
years.
do. I
Thank you
remember
so much.
when I would make my daughter's resume, she goes, I'm not doing what you do. Well, guess what? She does what I do now. But it's what it is. It is what it is. It happens because the daughters are around you and they see what you do. And eventually they say, yeah, I guess you were right,
Yeah.
So that's just the way life is. It is what it is. So I want to say something to Kat, this wonderful woman that couldn't make it today, from all of us. I say, Kat, hang in there. You're going to make it. You are going to get that kidney because you've been working so hard that it's going to happen. Anybody else want to shoot her a hello?
No, same thing. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, Kat, I don't know you, but you're going to do fine. I have a godson who's having kidney problems. Not in need of one yet, but I've learned about, educated myself on what foods you should and should not be eating to help, promote kidney functions, proper functions. And I don't know the exact state that you're in, but you're going to be all right. God is with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm wishing you all the best, Kat. And, if you have an entire community
She
behind
does.
you.
She really
And
does.
if you ever need anything, we are here to support you.
Oh, how sweet is that? And on another note, we have a pizzeria right down the block that we always stop at. He's sponsoring the show. It's called Leonardo's Pizza. He's got great pizza, but if you really want something delicious, he makes soups to go. His soups every day are fresh and delicious. It's right down the block at 20 Broadway. And our other sponsor is a wonderful man. His name is Teddy. He owns Aura Puro Jewelers in Franklin Square. He not only gives you a good price, you tell him you saw it on the show, you get a deal, all kinds of jewelry and gifts, and you get cappuccino. When you walk in the door, if you say you're on the show, you get hot cappuccino and cookies. And he's adorable, and we appreciate him a lot. He sponsors the show a lot. And before you know it, it's going to be June. And, you know, everybody's going to be out playing sports, doing all kinds of things. We want you to stay safe. But, you know, in this time of year, I think with all that we're going through, there's a message out there. Be kind. Being kind is not expensive. And if somebody out there is trying to do something that is really unkind, walk away. Don't start a fight. Because things are happening now that are unbelievable. What do you think?
And that's a broad category.
Well,
there.
look what's going on out there. I mean,
Yeah,
somebody
it's,
tried to hit me in the parking lot, and I'm like, get away. I didn't even want his license. I'm like, just go. Because you don't know if they're an animal, they're going to hit you or whatever.
Yeah, it's a challenging time. I mean, you have to be careful, keep your circle of friends close around you, and be protective. You know, and it's a shame. You know, we used to have the days everyone left the doors open. You can't quite do that anymore. But I still say you can't lose faith in humanity.
No,
You
I
still
agree.
have to believe, and you know, even people who are troubled can be helped, and they can be turned around.
Right, absolutely. And what about you? I mean, you know, you probably see it in different things, right?
I speak to people.
You do a lot of coaching, right?
Yeah, I speak to a lot of people that go through a lot of things family-wise, you know. As far as on the street itself, yeah, you're right. Times have changed. You know, there's no such thing as a fair one anymore. You know,
Right,
fair one meaning, you know, fisticuff, two people working something out. You know, today you get shot, you look at somebody the wrong way. So, yeah, I tend to leave.
I'm sure
people
you'd be the type to break it up somehow.
Uh,
Well, not anymore because you're
Pastor
getting
more,
older.
Yeah, Pastor more so than myself.
Yeah.
She's really.
I
tough.
can't sometimes say too much, but I've learned how to cut it back because
You can't.
the
you
person
keep-
can have a gun.
Yeah.
And you could be
really
dead.
can't. The funny thing about the difference is the South and New York. People talk about the courtesy. You know how courteous everyone is in the South. You know, they say well, Southern hospitality. You know, and I tell them that's because weapons are legal down there. You
Right.
in New York, you go get down there. You can go to a Walmart. I
Right.
believe they changed it now. You can go to Walmart and buy a shotgun. I said you can't do that in New York. So
No.
in New York, somebody bumps into you or you bump into somebody, they're ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Down south, you bump into somebody or someone bumps into you, you just work that out right away and just say, you know, I apologize, you have a great day, and
Right.
everything's fine because you don't know if that individual has a gun on.
Right. Right.
So
Everyone gets a little goodie when they're on my show. This is for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is for you because I know you're outdoors a lot now and you need them.
Thank you.
Okay. And
Otherwise
this
you
is
need glasses
also
like me.
your Vogue magazine.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay. And this is a special thing for you. Now, if you win, then you have a problem because you have to bring me with you.
okay.
So everybody, I always try to give someone a little something special.
I appreciate
We're going to have some wine with the audience when we shut down. We're going to take some more pictures. And my line for today is kick off your boots. Feel the tingle just because you're home. Home is a good place to be.
Yes.
And, you know, there's no place like home. What do you think of that? You're home now. You were away.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I can actually attend my niece's birthday parties. I can go see my friends' musicals. It's so
Your
much
mother
fun.
is cooking for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's-
I can be home with my family now.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
It's good to be home.
Yeah.
And try to stay healthy because when you get sick, you don't realize, you know, I was sick for months and I'm back, thank God. But you don't realize when you're by yourself Who's going to take care of you? But I was lucky enough to have a very good man in my life, and he did. But once you master the trick of going away, when you come home, it's just a different thing. Is that true? Because you were away.
Yeah. It's very different.
And I'm sure you got homesick in college.
I did. Yeah.
Did you cook or no? You ate all the bad stuff?
No. Freshman 15.
And, so you made it through. I'm sure, you look terrific. You grew so much. And I'm sure when your neighbors see you when you come home, they're like, that's Courtney? What happened to Courtney?
It's nice to wave to them, too. I miss them a lot.
Yeah, so you're on a roll. You're back. And June is here, another 3 days. Memorial Day, eat, have fun, be merry. Don't drive when you drink, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, you drive when you drink, you're in trouble. You see your friend go into the car, take the keys, whether he likes it or not. And, as long as everybody's doing the right thing, everyone will be safe.
And drunk driving is the #1 leading cause for young people. So be very careful.
And then let's talk about the weed now. I mean, the weed, you can go into the drugstore and someone's smoking weed. Everybody's smoking weed now. You smell it everywhere. That's kind of scary, but I'm not against it. They say it helps a lot of things, but there are these big factories opening up all over Long Island, and they're busy as hell. So
They opened one next to my church.
yeah, well, my wish list. You have that list before you die. What's it called?
Bucket list.
The bucket list.
Yep.
I'm going to smoke weed once before I die.
On this show?
No, not but it's on my bucket list with a friend who smokes it a lot, and I don't let him in my house or anything. But I told him one day we both have the same birthdays. I will smoke weed with you, and he has those big things. You smoke through those pipes.
Oh, like the hookahs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. But I will before I do that. And the other thing I want to do is before I want to ride in the Italian parade on Columbus Day on the float. Those are my 2 bucket list things.
Right.
I have a lot more, but those are important. And other than that, you got a bucket list? One thing?
I don't know.
You're too young. What about you?
Well, I've checked off a lot of them.
Yeah?
Too late for me.
Too late?
Yeah.
What about you, David? I know you have one.
No, I don't have a bucket list.
No?
Nope.
What am I, crazy? I have a bucket list. I'm only
Try and
71.
Make the best of each and every day.
Well,
That's
I
what
do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I do that
One
too.
step at a time.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you for coming. Everybody, check out these wonderful people, our sponsors, and make sure you go to my website, valentinajanik.com. My books are for sale, and they are positive, and they will give you a good laugh. Every story is true. Every single story is true. You may not believe it, but it is. And these are for you, my new cards that you can give out to people.
Thank you.
You notice that I'm by myself, so now this show is totally sponsored by me. And these are our rates. I already gave you one, my new cards. Do I look lonely there, or do I look all right?
Oh, you look great.
Not bad, right? Not bad. It's not bad being your own host. So
Yeah.
I really want to thank you again, and I believe that we're out of time. So everybody, thank you for coming, and
I pretend one.
Kat, we love you, Kat.
Yeah, wishing you health.